Bitcoins and beer, Bitcoins and beer. Here is Norm, he's a storm as he screams and raves and rants. He is here drinking beer, spilling Bitcoins on his pants. Hello, it's me, Norm, again, and I'm here once again to drink beer and talk about Bitcoins. Well, today's beer is a return beer, actually. Old favorite, Racer 5, Bear Republic. California, another California beer. I think actually most of these beers have been California beers, oddly enough. But just wish they all could be California beers. Because California has some pretty nice beers. So today I'm going to talk about something about Bitcoin that I've actually been putting off because it is something, well, it kind of confuses some people in the Bitcoin when they first hear about Bitcoin, first of all. And it's really not the first thing you should bring up, but it is the first thing in the white paper. It's the incentive to keep the whole network running and the whole blockchain going, which is mining. We talked about the blockchain. Well, that blockchain has to be kept up because every transaction that takes place, very complicated process that it has to go through to create those transactions, first of all. Second of all, is like these Bitcoins aren't going to just appear out of thin air. They're going to have to be created. As incentive to create these Bitcoins, you get to keep them through mining, a process called mining, on your computer, which is a very complex computer algorithm, which actually there is an excellent video I saw the other day. I tweeted it, I believe. Hopefully I did. Maybe look back at my Twitter to look at somebody actually doing this manually. And they create these, basically solve these computer algorithmic puzzles to encrypt these blocks in the data blocks, actually, in the blockchain to extend the chain. And that's incentive to keep the thing going. Every time you send a Bitcoin to somebody, there's a transaction that has to do this complicated math formula to send this Bitcoin. And you do get charged a small amount, depending on how much you send, how many Bitcoins you send, how big the blocks are. It's very small. It works out to be most of the time less than a cent, unless you're sending like millions of dollars. Then it might end up to be a nickel or maybe a little over a nickel, which is a lot better than a wire transfer, which is a percentage or even a credit card transaction. That's the incentive for mining, because the miners that actually, they'll just go out to a random miner and they don't even know they're doing these transactions. Basically, as far as I understand. If I'm incorrect, please leave a comment underneath if I'm incorrect on any of this. That's the way I understand it. That it's sent out to a miner and they get to keep basically the transaction fee, which is a very minimal. To them, it might be a Satoshi or two. I'm not really sure. But yeah, you'll see it depending on how much you, like I said, you send. Usually, the reason why I've tried to keep this to last, because people are like, oh wow, we can just get Bitcoins for free and mine them. Well, it's become a lot more difficult lately. You see, there's this scale on how the difficulty of mining Bitcoins, and basically people just mining Bitcoins with their CPUs, and I've tried to mine altcoins before. I've mined a few altcoins with my CPU. I probably burnt out that laptop over there doing so. And sorry, just got distracted there. I have to cut this a little short. But stop it. Okay. Okay. So I can't remember where I was. I'm getting some off-camera things here. So the blockchain. Incentive for the blockchain. Okay. So how appropriate. Good thing I have that. But in order to keep the blockchain going, you have to have incentives so they make them mine the coins. But you cannot, in order to like mine a Bitcoin with your CPU nowadays, be like forever. But then people realize, hey, if I mined it with a GPU, a graphics processor, I can mine them a lot faster. Great, people are doing that. The difficulty went up, and actually the cost of the graphic cards. So the poor gamers that had all these, could buy a graphic card for a couple $100, now was paying close to $1,000 for graphic cards because they were realizing that. Then some kid, I think it was like 24 or something like that, he actually made a processor called ASICs processor, and that could mine. That was just built for mining bitcoins. And since those came out, the difficulty became insane. So it actually worked out, cheaper to buy the Bitcoin than was to mine them. When you add in the cost of the equipment and how fast the equipment would actually last, because before the difficulty went up again, and the cost of the electricity it is to run it, especially in the summertime. Here, you can't even probably burn out, multiple graphic cards before that happens. You used to see yay after every line of code because it's all command line. You see yay. Now you see is boo, boo, boo. Miners would understand what I'm talking about, but that was actually the code. You used to say either yay or boo, which is kind of funny. Another thing people started doing is instead of mining on their own computer, they started pool mining, like mining in pools where they combine their computer power, kind of like the folding for the medical. I started doing SETI long time ago, and it's kind of like SETI as well, I guess, where you kind of like give up part of your processor so you could search for extraterrestrial life, even though I don't believe in extraterrestrial life, so to speak, but they were more searching for radio waves coming from planets to search for extraterrestrial life. That garbage. Not that I believe in that. Most of the UFOs are probably government, government top secret projects. In my view, but that's. I'm getting distracted. I'm gonna cut this out now. Okay. All right. Well, hope this is running. We're about on time now, but hope you understand mine a little bit better. I should took that. So thanks for stopping by. Cheers. Enjoy. If you don't understand mining, just ask me any questions. If you watch the video, but please watch the video. I'm telling you, too late. Nobody's watching my videos, but maybe one day somebody will. Cheers. Enjoy.